Y'all, you don't know what you don't know. So before register for a doula training, please check out these red flags. Let's get into them. The first one is just like trust your gut. This is something that you learn as a doula because we really want to have our clients trust their guts. So this is great practice. If there's something that just like, they just don't love it, trust that and choose a different training. Okay, so let's talk about some of the red flags. Let me pull up my notes here. You can see the artist that I am. Okay, so the first one is if it's fast certification, right away, like this is a helping and healing field. This is a field that sits at the intersection of medical care, of therapy, social work, community care. Like you need to have the skills. You need to have the skills and understanding about anatomy and physiology. You need to understand about mood disorders. You need to understand about disabilities. You need to understand like all of these things. So that's not something you can just learn really quickly. Okay, another one is no exam or no practice. There's a doula training organization that is doing an ad campaign right now being like, you don't have to go do any client care to get your certification. Y'all, you have to go do client care because part of the client care is not only the experience to see how you do, but they also fill out some paperwork for you to like give you an assessment so that if you need to improve elements of care, that you get the opportunity to do that. So having the practicum component is really, really important. If anytime you just have like yucky sales things, like pressure to enroll quickly or something like that, like yuck. No, probably not. If there's a lack of transparency around, like you just kind of don't know what's up, around the scope or cert requirements or how the program works. Because I know I keep an eye on what's happening out in our industry. And there's lots of times where I'm like, I don't really understand how all this works. Like, what do people have to do? What does the training look like? Okay, but one of the major ones I want to talk about is the hidden fees. Okay, so when you start actually snooping around doula trainings, there are a lot of hidden fees that you don't really know until after. So let's say you found your training and you're like, oh, that's great. It's $1,100. It's probably a weekend. Awesome. I can afford this, but I want you to look further. Is there a recertification fee? These are fees that like super catch you off guard. I know back in the day, I did a whole bunch of weekend trainings because that's all that was available before I built Babel Mia. And, one of the years, it was like one of my early years is I had 4 certifications and I was like, I actually can't afford all of these fees. All of them required continuing education that you have to pay for. So I was like, well, each one of these is costing me like $400 to $700 a year. And then times 4, because I had my my birth doula, my postpartum doula, my childbirth education, and my lactation educator certification. And so I would have had to spend thousands of dollars a year just to keep my certification, which is like kind of made up anyway. And so I was like, well, this seems super, super wrong. So I let them all lapse and I started my own doula training organization because that was just bonkers to me. So please make sure you check them out. Some of them also have, as I mentioned, exam fees. So you have to buy your certification packet. Sometimes there's book fees, like you have to buy these books. There's like so many hidden fees. So you please check that out because if you don't pay these hidden fees every year, or some of them are biannually, they take away your certification. And if you depend on that for your insurance, or the hospital that you're working out of requires it, or you're working within a market that wants to see that, you're a little bit SOL. I'm going to brag about Babel Mia just because this is my channel. We have no hidden fees. We actually do all the continuing education for you. So I believe it's the doula training organization's responsibility to maintain their skills and the like abilities and the education of their alumni, because you're alumni of our school. And so we don't have any hidden fees. If you fail your exam, there is a remark or a rewrite fee. It's very, very low, and we've only had one person ever need to rewrite. So there you go. Okay. Also, research on professional readiness, it shows unsupported learners obviously have higher burnout rates. They have lower confidence. We're essentially like you're unprepared and then you're being launched out into the world. So again, running through these red flags, if it's a guarantee of a fast, a fast turnaround, or like no exam, or you don't have to do any practicums, if you feel yucky about their sales tactics, if they're lacking transparency, that's what this one is here, as that symbol's known to represent being transparent or lacking thereof. And then please check out those hidden fees, because they will catch you off guard and you will be having all these new business expenses that you probably weren't expecting. And you don't get anything for your certification. Sometimes you get listed on their directory, but like, come on, they should have you on your directory anyway. Okay, so good training has space for questions, has offers like extended care and support well after you're done your certification. So when you're actually out working in the field, there's a place for you to come back and get support from your organization. One of the biggest red flags, it deserves its own conversation, and that is about weekend trainings. So that is where we are going to go next.